welcome to Bridge of Theories. This is a Bridge of Theories episode.
We got some theories for you. Not really.
Well, sort of.
Well, yeah, kind of.
I'm just curious to know. So, Josh,
theory.
as we all know, if you listen to the main episode, Josh has finished Well of Ascension, the second Mistborn book. Started the third one. I'm curious. I want to hear his thoughts on where he thinks it's gonna go. Because he doesn't know. I mean, he knows a little. He knows one minor detail.
I think everyone's gonna die.
And by minor, I mean pretty major detail. But I'm curious to know what he thinks is going to end up happening. Where he thinks the story is going to go. Because this is the end of the trilogy.
Ellen's gonna die.
Is he?
I don't know. I think he is.
What makes you think that?
Because he almost died in the last one. I don't know. I just feel like it's like kind of left it was kind of like a foreshadowing thing, maybe. I don't know. I think that lots of people are going to die in this one because there's going to be a big time jumps and it's a wrapping up like a storyline. So I think a lot of people are going to die. I already know. So yeah, spoilers for some of Mistborn, because I'm going to be talking about things that I know have happened. I do already know a spoiler for the last book that Sazed, however you say it, is going to become a shard holder. And somehow he's going to be holding 2 shards. I don't know how that's going to... I don't know how that's going to happen.
But you just know
But I know it's going to happen. I know he's going to somehow figure out how to have harmony between preservation and ruin. Those 2 shards.
Don't even know the half of it.
I don't. I know that Kelsey are somehow alive. I don't know how.
That doesn't come into play at all in this book, so it doesn't matter.
What? He's not in it?
Did I just spoil that for you?
Sort of.
Sorry.
Spoilers for me.
It's not really a spoiler. He literally has nothing to do with the book. He's not in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought like I was gonna get a whole bunch of information about him in this one. Interesting.
No.
I'm gonna read it.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
Putting it down. Not gonna read it. I'm done. I'm just kidding.
I don't mean to do that to you.
So
my man.
No, you're good. So there's definitely going to be some big stuff with Khandra in this book because the prologue, I think, was with Tensoon being he's been imprisoned for helping Vin out.
Oh, I love the Khandra. The Khandra are cool
and
creatures.
He's not even gonna, because of like the gravity of what he did, giving like the secrets about how they can be controlled. He's not gonna be allowed to die. He's gonna be kind of kept in, I don't know, some kind of torture chamber or something. I can't remember how that ended though. That prologue, if it was just, I don't remember if he got out or anything. But anyway,
they're kept as they're not given, like they take their bones away from them.
Oh, so they're just like liquid or something, like a pool
like
of
ooze.
Yeah, that was interesting.
The Khandra are really cool creatures.
That was the thing though. It was they were about to totally they threw acid on him and they were going to. It was just going to kill him, but they didn't expect. They had to their customs say that they have to give him like a final request or something like that. Mm-hmm. They throw some bones in there really fast, but then they don't give him time to take a form. They throw the acid in there to kill him, but then they don't realize how quickly he can take a form.
Oh, that's right, because he's used to changing so fast.
He's used to changing, so he goes, he takes a shape, and he makes a mouth, and he just says justice. I want justice, which basically means he wants a trial. And so he's going to get some kind of trial. So I don't know. I think Tensoon, is going to somehow he's going to get. I think somehow he's going to be vindicated because. Get it? Vindicated?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just think he's similar to Sazed, right? So Sazed's culture, the what are they called? Terracemen. The Terrace culture, they frowned on getting involved in politics and just wanted them to stay in between kind of things and kind of bide their time till the Lord Ruler fell. But Sazed was actively involved in the rebellion. And it turned out to free his people. I think it's going to be a similar thing with Tensoon. He helped Vin, yes, but he helped her. Helping her may end up helping
the Khandra,
the whole planet. Here's kind of a theory thing. The epigraphs have been interesting so far.
The epigraphs in the third book are really they really
Like
start to open up the Cosmere a lot.
I think they're talking about the Lord Ruler when he took up the power at the Well of Ascension and how he tried moving the planet this way and that. Like he didn't really know.
Yes,
He didn't really know what he was doing, but he was just trying things out to see if he could destroy the I don't know, the deepness by moving it closer to the sun or something, and then that caused this to happen. So then he had to have the ash,
and you only had like a minute amount of time with it.
Right, so it's really interesting to think about, like how the Lord Ruler was trying to figure out, and that's one thing I'm wondering too. How many times did the Lord Ruler actually take up the power? Was it more than once? If that well was like refilling from the time that she killed Lord Ruler, or from the time before the last time it was taken up, how many times had he taken it up? Had he basically remade the world multiple times trying to figure this like puzzle out of dealing with I don't know if he's dealing with trying to deal with ruin or what. I
forget, the mist is killing people, right?
The mist is, they're saying,
or they're making them sick.
Mainly like
because it's been killing them since book 1, right?
No, in book 1, the mist is like, there's a superstition that they shouldn't go out in the mist. And then in book 2, the mist, after the Lord Ruler is killed, the mist actually kills people randomly. Like, some people it just lets go, and then some people it kills.
Yes.
And says it doesn't understand what's going on with it. And then so they're like, that must be the deepness. The mist must be the deepness. Because then it starts coming earlier and earlier. The sunlight, there's not enough sunlight for their crops.
I remember.
So I'm still not convinced that the mist is the deepness, because I'm wondering if obviously I believe that ruin is the what was freed at the end of the second book was ruin. He was like imprisoned somehow, and so I'm guessing his power was collecting because it wasn't able to be used or something, and so it had to like have an outlet. I don't know. But then preservation must be active somehow, because that's a shard that's active on, and I think preservation has more to do with Mistborn, the Mistborn, and so that makes me think the mist is connected to preservation. But if the mist is connected to preservation, why is the mist killing people? That's what I'm really confused about. There's new stuff going on with the Steel Inquisitors. At the beginning of Hero of Ages, where one of them moves like way quicker than they should be able to, and it's got a shield over. It's got an extra spike for Pooter.
Just oh gosh,
I don't know.
This book opens up a lot more about the magic system too.
Okay.
And how it works within the Cosmere.
Good.
Which is cool. And then, you're just as you continue, you get near the end, you're going to be like, things are going to happen. You'll be like, this has been pointed out since book 1, and never realized, or like this has been happening since book 1.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Oh, okay,
it's insane.
Well, like the mist, always is like Mistborn when they're using their abilities, the mist always swirls around them, which reminds me of Windspren swirling around Kaladin. In Stormlight Archive when he's using his surges, so it definitely seems like the mist is connected to Allomancy somehow, and obviously Vin in the first book was able to use the mist somehow. She wasn't able to do it at all in the second book. She tried a couple times. So
you find out more about that.
She doesn't know why she was able to do it the first time, and then also what I'm wondering too is the whole Hero of Ages. The Hero of Ages prophecy, you're led to believe at the end of the first book. Apologies. At the end of the first book, you're led to believe that the Hero of Ages prophecy was just kind of a thing that the Ruin was just putting out there to try and get somebody to come take the power. And they, made this prophecy that the power can't be used. It shouldn't be used. It should be given back in order to free him, which is a crazy twist, by the way. That whole thing that they just build this into, just hammer this in for so long that you can't use the power, you can't use the power, can't use the power. But then there's some slight discrepancies that Sayzed and Tint will like find, but then they don't understand what it is.
That the third book opens that up a lot more too. You learn a lot more about.
That's what I'm wondering. Is like, is the Hero of Ages really just Ruin trying to get free, or is there actually a real Hero of Ages prophecy of someone? Is someone actually going to be the Hero of Ages?
As you read, I want to say the epigraphs. Pay attention to the epigraphs as well. It might not be in the epigraphs, but I'm pretty sure they are. Just pay attention to things that are said, and you learn more as the book goes on, obviously, and things start to open up, and it literally start like just being like, oh my gosh, this is insane. This makes a lot of sense now. So
interesting, the Colossus, like too, the way they are able to control the Colossus. That just doesn't seem like that's gonna. It doesn't seem like they can get away with that forever, because the Colossus just don't seem like they're a good race, like an inherently good race. Mm-hmm. So for them to continue being able to just dominate the Colossus, especially with Ruin free, seems like that's not going to go their way forever. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm so excited for you to finish this. We'll have to do an episode on Mistborn.
Kelsier being out of the picture for this book kind of makes me like have less, like not less to. I just know
not to focus on that.
Yeah, I know not to focus on that. Not to think about like, okay, where is Kelsier? Because I definitely thought in the book too. I thought the Mist Spirit was Kelsier because it was always around Vin. Was trying to tell her what things to do, and there's like scenes where she's thinking about Kelsier, and then the Mist Spirit's there. So it's just kind of, seemed like it would be kind of.
Yeah, I didn't mean to spoil it for you, but yeah, I mean, you can just go ahead and assume. I mean, Kelsier no longer has anything to do with this trilogy.
Okay, interesting.
So he's not in the book at all.
Yeah. So
you don't want to read the other short story that I tell you not to read because it spoils things for the third book.
Okay.
Not necessarily because of Kelsier's in it, but because it just spoils things in the third book.
Okay, because of how it ends.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot more, like you said, with the magic system. There's got to be a lot more information about preservation and how he's active in the world and Ruin.
This book really was this third book was really opened up the Cosmere for me because it started to explain more about shards and stuff like that. You kind of started to understand things and the magic system and how it works with shards and stuff like that. Obviously, we have Stormlight now, so it's a little bit different. But I mean, like back when I was reading that, I still don't know much about the Cosmere. So just just be excited for that. I'm excited for you to finish it and talk about it because there's a lot that happens that I'm like, as we talk about this now, I'm being reminded of it. I'm like, oh yes.
Sayzed it's interesting knowing that he's going to become a shard bearer. Where his journey is right now, he's very he's kind of become an atheist basically. Like he just doesn't believe in any religion. Any religion's worth it.
That's what
to know that he's going to end up taking up shards and basically becoming a god.
That's the best part about his journey.
It's crazy.
His story in the Mistborn books, honestly, like the first book, he was a character, but I was like, it is what it is. He's just a character there, and I don't really care too much about him. Because you have Vin and Kelsier.
He had some really cool scenes, like when he saved Vin.
But he seemed more like a really big side character. But then you had Kelsier and you had Vin and stuff like that. But then you get to the second book, and he starts having a more major role, and you're like, okay, he's a main character. And then you get to the third book, you're like, oh my gosh, he is a main character. Like he is just as important as Vin and Elend and Kelsier was, and all that. Like he's not just a side character.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh gosh, my heart.
Yep. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm sure I won't expect most of it.
Well,
even though I know how some things end up, like.
But even knowing how they end up,
I don't know how.
You don't know how it happens and how they get there, and there's a lot of this. Despite what you do know, you still know so little about what happens. Trust me. Just from what you've said that because you know about this as I saw that thing.
It's cool how they're getting into more metals and they're like discovering more metals and stuff. What they do, like they have that metal that they don't have. If they don't have adium or adium, however you say it. But then they have this other metal.
It counteracts the adium.
It basically counteracts it. Yeah. So that's just an interesting thing. The more I feel like the most interesting thing about this book will be just learning more about the Lord Ruler and like what he was doing, what he did, what he was trying to do. Will just be more interesting to understand
if
him
I'm
more as
correct,
a
that's
character.
like Sazed's main goal in this book.
Okay.
Is finding out more about all that. So following his character. There's also another character. There's a character that pops up in this book that was in the other books, but as a side character that becomes a very important character. And not just the book, but in the Mistborn series as a whole. Which I'm excited to hear your thoughts on.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
It's not Zane, is it?
Who?
He's not coming back.
No.
Ellen's brother.
No, I don't remember, so no. It's not who I'm thinking
Couldn't
of.
stand that guy.
I can't stand his dad either. Ugh.
Oh yeah, his dad's horrible.
They're all idiots. Anyway, well, I'm excited.
There you go.
We're gonna come back. Maybe we'll do like a follow-up Bridget Theories episode.
We should.
On when you finish Mistborn Book 3,
sure my
see
mind
what
will
you
be
think.
blown.
Yeah, we'll talk about what you might have, kind of called or didn't call.
Not much.
What I spoiled and didn't spoil, because I have a hard time not spoiling things.
All right.
All right, well,
Sounds good.
this has been Bridget Theories. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you're excited to hear when Josh concludes Book 3.
Yeah.
I know I am. Hear his thoughts.
And if you have anything you'd like us to talk about or cover on any kind of theory or just getting into lore, because like sometimes we talk about lore on these Bridge of Theories podcasts.
Yeah, we call it Bridge of Theories, but I mean really it's lore, theories, just trying out something new that you want to hear talked about for 20 minutes instead of the full episode, Give it DM us on our Instagram, bridge_of_2 spelled out.
Yep.
Email us at bridgeof2@gmail.com. Do we have a Twitter?
Yep, Twitter's @bridgeof2.
Yeah, shoot us a message, or if you just whatever you want to say, let us know. Let us hear it. We're there. We'll check it out. I sadly haven't been as active on Instagram, but we're getting back there. So definitely give us a message.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty.
We just had a little bit
This is what happens after we've had a can of mead.
Had a little bit of commentary from our live studio audience.
Who left?
It can't keep us down.
Can't keep us down.
We didn't get here by playing it safe. We got here by breaking down walls. Anyway.
You're chomping. It's going to be all over the mic.
Sorry.
Fool.
Sorry.